welcome back. Today we're going through dehydration. We did some bell peppers, we did some citrus peel, we did some mushrooms, some beef jerky, although we don't go into depth about the process of the beef jerky. We'll do that at a later date. And some apples. Simple, easy. The prep was just chop it and put it on there for everything but the beef jerky. And today we pulled everything off and put it in jars, and you see that. So, without further ado, here we go. Here's my apples. I just cut them. I use my apple core slicer thingy, my bomber, and I'm still bad with names. I use this to cut and slice and peel and core my apples, and then I just cut them into chunks to put them on the dehydrator. And then I've got 2 trays of mushrooms. I've got 1 tray of bell peppers, of colored peppers. I have 1 tray of lemons, and then 3 of my jerky. I will be making jerky again in a couple of months because I only did half of the steak that I got to put on here, and it made 3 trays, which will last us for like a day. Oops. So this is what's on my dehydrator. And yes, I do have more trays on this dehydrator than what comes on it. It's a Walmart dehydrator. It's nothing special. But there for a time, I went through dehydrators like 1 a week. I mean, the silly things just like exploded on me. Hi guys. This is the next morning. We're gonna package up the stuff from the dehydrator, and I'll show you how I do that and how things turned out. So let's get started. We'll do it this way. Let's start. This is our apples, and I will put those into a little jar over here, and I will use them in the cereal, which Sophie's eating some cereal right now. Yeah. Is it good?
She says yes.
The way you tell whether or not stuff is ready to come off the dehydrator, apples are a little bit different. They don't, if they dry to the point where they snap, like most things, then they're not good. And yes, I cleaned my hands and I cleaned my counter really well this morning before starting all this, because a lot of it will fall through, and this is just a process of, so I save glass jars. I mean, of course I save my canning jars, right? But I save my other glass jars. Like this is sweet pickle relish. This is sweet pickle relish, and this is a jar of some dip. So what I save these for, because you can't really, technically, according to USDA, you're not supposed to can in them. I'm sure if it came down to there's nothing else to can in, period, like, I don't know, some weird thing, like the zombie apocalypse or something, and anyways, I use these for my dehydrated stuff. Sometimes when I do, because I do a lot of my own spice mixes, like I don't buy taco seasoning because, well, I can do that myself.
And it tastes good.
And it tastes way better. I do my own Fiesta Ranch. I do my own ranch. This is why I cleaned my counter really, really good this morning. Because the holes in the dehydrator so that the air can get through also let the food fall apart. So, there's my apples. And this is all I do to save them. I put them in a dark pantry. I have overflow pantries. Now these are our mushrooms. And yes, there's a few bell pepper, but I don't know how they got. Oh, anyway. There's a piece of apple. Yes, they fell through in the process. It's okay. It ain't gonna kill anything. Get a little apple in your mushroom, it's not gonna kill anything. I mean, so for these, my allergies are killing me this morning, guys. My ears itch. Okay, so what I was saying about how to tell something's done on the dehydrator. Hear that? It kind of snaps. So, that's how you know. There are different ways for different things. Like jerky, you obviously don't want it so dry that it snaps like that because, well, yuck. But I just sit here and pick and pick and pick all the stuff out. Now, these mushrooms will be used for like soups. After the box of mushroom soup I bought at Sam's this weekend, I won't be buying any more cream of mushroom soup at the store. I make a powder version. I got the recipe and I really like it from Mary's Nest here on YouTube. I like it, and I will link it below. It's really good. It's really easy, and it's shelf stable. You just cook it up just a little bit right before. Well, I don't use any recipe that says cream of chicken soup or cream of celery or cream of onion or cream of whatever. I don't really use those ever. I always just add cream of mushroom. Anyways, this way I control how much salt is in my cream of mushroom soup, because if you really look at the labels, that's high, really high. Even if you get the lower sodium or the heart healthy, that's really high in sodium. Well, I got to reading the label the other day. I don't know why. I do every once in a while, but I was reading it for something. Anyways, I realized something. The cream of mushroom soup I bought, and I'm not going to name brand names because I don't want to hurt their business. I mean, if people want to do it that way, that's their business, that's not mine. Right? I'm not going to tell you you can't use it. But I was reading that label. It has MSG, monosodium glutamate. If you have problems with gluten, I learned a long time ago that MSG will affect that. That's not why I decided, because of the MSG. MSG is one thing that triggers migraines with me. And I don't like being down. Being down to recover from this surgery has just about driven me crazy. And it wasn't a long drive to begin with. So I don't like being down with migraines at all. I have learned to control most of them by watching, keeping a food diary, what I've eaten before one triggers, and MSG. There's some other preservatives they put in foods that bother me. Also, a lot of preservatives have phosphates in them, which, with Sophie being type 1 diabetic, and her old endocrinologist thought she was developing the early stages of kidney failure and kidney disease. So we started eliminating phosphates from our diet, which is, we started eliminating phosphates because from our diet to help her, because that's one of the #1 things that bothers kidneys is phosphates. And in most store-bought cereals, even the healthier ones, it contains phosphates. It's in the preservatives. So, what, baby? It's okay to have every once in a while, yes. And their stockings this year for Christmas, the kids got their favorite Marshmallow Maybe cereal, so it's not about cutting it out 100%, it's about minimizing. I'm not truly a crunchy mom, so. But, just one. Oh, no, you're right. So, that's how I did my mushrooms. Next, I have bell peppers. That's how I look at it anyways. Tell you a funny, here's our bell peppers. I'm gonna do it this way because I'm dumping them all on to the lemons. They don't hold quite their color that they did. They hold enough. And they're still really pretty. I mean, but back to the cream and mushroom soup. I give you a funny, and I'm sure John's gonna be upset that I'm telling this. But I made my cream and mushroom soup, or I called it my cream of soup because I hadn't put mushrooms in it yet. I didn't have any dehydrated mushroom candy. Anyway, it's in a powder form, and I put it in a mushroom. It's a cream-based soup. It's majority of its milk. Anyways, I made it. I labeled it. I also made our homemade coffee creamer for John. It's another Mary's Nest recipe, which I absolutely love a lot of her recipes. And it's shelf stable and everything. I had the coffee creamer on one shelf in a pint jar, and I had John's coffee creamer on another shelf in another jar. Late last night I ate a cutie, and when I peeled it up, I just threw them on. But here's the lemon sauces. They can be used to help. You can actually add this back into a boiling pot of water and it'll smell up your house pretty good. Naturally. I'm doing this because I'm still after the bell peppers that fell through. Anyways. So I had the coffee creamer on one shelf, I had the cream and mushroom soup on another. John came in to make coffee and he knew I told him I made some creamer. So he grabbed the first jar he saw.
Didn't read the label.
Didn't read labels. He put cream of soup in his coffee. Y'all, when he told me, I laughed so hard. I know I shouldn't have. I really shouldn't have, but I did. I laughed really hard. So, it is what it is. What I'm going to do with the lemons and the clementine, little mandarin orange things, what I'm going to do with those peels is I put them in my Ninja and I chop them up and I add them to tea. Like I make a tea for colds that my family calls bruja tea, and I'll go through that sometime. I put lemon in it. In my anti-inflammatory tea, the turmeric tea, I put lemon peel in it. But I just process it through. Same thing with the oranges. Sometimes I want a different flavor than the lemon. So that's what I do with those. I've also added the powder to recipes. When I do the lime ones, I make mine with cilantro lime because a lot of the seasonings I buy that are the combinations I love, like the cilantro lime, has a lot of sugar in it. It's like the third ingredient. So I make my own. I just don't, we don't need all that extra. Anyways. Oh, y'all want to see my beef jerky? It's not done yet, but it's on here too. And I thought y'all might enjoy seeing it. But, well, never mind. It's done. See, you can break it and it comes apart, but it's not completely. No, I can make a meal just off this. It's a little bushcraft type information. If you have beef jerky and you drink water while eating it, it rehydrates in your stomach, and your stomach doesn't know it's dehydrated. Anyways, get you a dehydrator. Mine's a cheap one from Walmart. Start dehydrating things. It's useful. This isn't long-term storage. I use this all the time. So, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a blessed day. Anyways, get you a dehydrator. Mine's a cheap one from Walmart. Start dehydrating things. It's useful. This isn't long-term storage. I use this all the time.